Oh, that was some cool music. I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm trying to see if I can get 3 platforms to do live stream at one time. So I thought I'd jump on here real quickly and see if I have Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube all going at the same time. I have no idea. I don't even know I have the headphones on. I am just having a good time. But I thought I needed to talk about something, right? I needed to talk about something to provide this entertaining moment for you. Oh my gosh. Nope. No, I like this better. Yes? No? If I knew how to look at your comments, I would look at your comments and you'd be able to tell me if I'm doing anything right. But alas, I don't even know how to do that. Isn't it embarrassing, kind of? Let's see, comments and reactions. Okay, so there we go. I know if someone out there sees something and comments, I now see it. So let's talk about ADUs. Texas Monthly wrote an article about ADUs and how they're could be used to solve the housing problem. I don't know if y'all know what an ADU is, but an ADU is simply an accessory dwelling unit, right? Now they're real popular. They're all over the place. In Austin, a lot of people put them in their backyards because, well, they need extra space. Actually, in Austin, a lot of people build entire houses that are ADUs. So they'll take a house, tear it down, and build basically 2, a main house, and then they'll put an ADU in the back. It's kind of like doing a duplex, but not really. And there's a lot of different rules about why you would do an ADU and not do a duplex. Anyway, that's not what I'm getting into. I'm getting into the social aspect of it, right? Would you like to have a granny flat in your backyard? I would. I'd love to be able to be in my granny flat right now. I would just call it the Eddie flat, and I'd have it in my backyard. But alas, I don't believe my neighborhood allows me to do that yet. I'm going to check on that actually in a minute after this with the HOA. Oh look, I think I'm actually seeing myself live now. That's interesting. So many things interesting about seeing yourself live. Number one, I'm only talking to myself, so it doesn't really much matter. Anyway, would you like to have a granny flat in your backyard? It's a very interesting article. They're talking about how this granny flat idea or the ADU would essentially solve a lot of the problems that the middle of the market is really experiencing. We have the new buyers, they're buying out of town. We have these middle ground buyer who's starting to buy in nicer areas like the move-up buyer, and then we have, of course, have the ultra wealthy buyers that are buying them, the McMansions, etc. But there's not really a product out there for single person who needs, well, there's of course apartments, but there's not a product for someone that doesn't want to be in an apartment basically and is not ready to buy a house with a partner and have a family, right? So that's what the ADUs are for. And there's also not really a product out there for the person that needs to stay at home with their elderly parent, or another situation where they need someone to live close by but not in their house, like your in-laws, right? So an ADU would solve all that, and it would just be a nice little dwelling unit in the backyard. Now, the interesting reason that people do ADUs is because they're less expensive than building a full house. And in Austin, I talked to a couple of guys and they said, oh, ADUs are $300 a square foot. So to build a 1,000 square foot ADU would be 300 grand. I got to tell you, if you just look around, mainly south of town towards San Antonio, there are people that are building ADUs for about $70 a square foot. I've now come across 3 different contractors that say $70 to $95 a square foot is a realistic price of what they could build an ADU for. Now that may not take into account all of Austin permitting, so maybe that's an outside of the city of Austin price, but it definitely does exist. And if you could, for 200 grand, actually not 200 grand, for 100 grand, put 1,000 square feet ADU in your backyard, if you had the space, would you do it? In a lot of Austin, that's doubling the size of the property, right? If you live in a 1,200 square foot house or a 1,400 square foot house and you can add 1,000 square feet in your backyard, that's pretty awesome. Not only is it pretty awesome because you can add 1,000 square feet for maybe 100 grand or maybe 150 grand, but it's going to be worth 300 grand, right, when you're done. And if you have to do it right now because you have an elderly parent that needs to move in and you don't want them to live in your house, or if you need to do it right now just to make a little bit extra income, well, great. It would be a great thing to do. So anyway, I know it's a really boring topic. I'd love to get an ADU going instead of a pool, etc. But really, this was just a good experience. I'm not a great live streamer, but I was really trying to test out to see if I could be on all three platforms at once. So I appreciate the 3 people that are watching. That's awesome. And I hope I provided some entertainment value, even though it's just a test, guys. So I appreciate anyone who did watch. And I'm going to go back and figure out where you watched and if I was live on all 3 platforms now. So until my next experiment, maybe in 5 minutes, thanks for watching. I don't know what happens next. I'm still here. Oh, the outro music.